Hi guys, I have been encountering a problem with my Fiat 500 Lounge convertible. It's a 2013, but I believe from 2019 to 2016, they are all the same. So the problem is when you turn off the car, you turn off the lights, the headlights still stay on and you cannot turn them off. I did a little bit research on it and try to find what the problem is, check the fuses, check the relay under the hood. Everything came out to be fine. What I find out that the BCM has individual relays for both headlights. And those relays stuck in a on position and you cannot do anything about it unless you change the BCM or repair the BCM. Changing a BCM is not a huge task to do. I think it can be done as a DIY. However, the problem comes in to reprogram your BCM. BCM cost on eBay, if you buy a used one, for about $120 to $200, and a new BCM from Mopar can cost you anywhere from $500 to $700. Now the problem comes in, the dealer has to program it because BCM holds cars immobilized, key immobilizer information, the VIN number, and too many other things. So if you go to the dealer, depending on your dealer and the state you are in, they may charge you anywhere from $600 to $700, and in extreme cases $1,000 as well, which could be very costly. The other option is getting the BCM repaired. However, problem with that is BCM has the circuits on both ends, and to do the repair, first you have to be master in soldering, or you could get a service for about $200 to $300. They do the BCM repairs. The only problem that comes, the car of that old, sometimes the circuit boards are fragile, and when you're trying to fix one thing, you could create another problem. So I did some research. I came up on an idea. What can I do? So we have inside fuse under the steering wheel, fuse F11 and F12, which are for the headlights. So I saw there are the fuse, and I thought, why cannot I institute a rocker on-off button that I can turn it off and on those headlights at my convenience. However, another problem that I encountered, that if I do that, what if I turn off the car and forgot to turn off the lights? So then I did some little bit more research and see what can I do, and I find out that I can attach a relay to it, which I'm gonna do on F36, which is an ignition switch and the car radio switch with a 10 amp, and I can tap a fuse into it and attach a relay, and then these lights become a DRL lights that they will be operated with the ignition switch on and off. And then I will also attach a rocker switch to control them manually as well. So I'm gonna do that, but while I'm gonna do that, I thought I would share my research and all the parts with you, and you guys can also benefit with that. Just a reminder, when I did the whole thing, I kind of try to make sure that I don't have to cut any wires. So we're gonna use a plug and play system. The only thing that you have to do, that you may have to drill a hole on the side of the dash to put a rocker switch in. And that would be it. At some point, if you buy a BCM or you want to replace the BCM, everything can go back as is in original state. So I'm gonna show you what parts that you need. I have also created a list to show it to you, as well as how we're gonna do it. So I'll show you everything. So you can see these lights are on, and if I go here and try to turn on and off, nothing happens. So see, I've tried to turn it off. However, if you look at it, they're still on. So that's a relay problem which is in the BCM, and that's what we're gonna fix today. All right guys, the parts that I need are the drill with a 3/4 of a drill bit. I have a screwdriver, a Phillips wire stripper or crimper. I also got 10 mm socket wrench because I'm gonna have to take off the battery terminal. I mean, whenever you're working, I mean that you should do that. And I also have the multivoltmeter just to check the polarity, which side I'm getting a positive feed. On the parts list, what I did, this is the rocker switch that I got from Amazon. It's double port. So, I mean, you see, I mean, I created 2 wires. I got these 4 clamps that I'm going to put them on. I also got these fuse holder connectors, mini AMT. So technically what I'm going to do, these are the ones I'm going to put them in the vehicle at the fuse box, and then we're going to work through it. Then I also got relay. It's a Bosch style 4-pin relay, but I got it with the socket. And the reason I got it with the socket, because then it gives you the wires and you can work with these wires. And I will explain it to you how to work with these wires. It becomes very easy. And these things are not expensive at all. The last thing is I also have the tap fuse that we're gonna put them for the ignitions to make them like a DRL. I also got these 2 fuses. These 2 fuses actually are taken back from the car, 7.5 amps each. And on my relay, I will be putting a 15 amp fuse because those 2 gonna feed to that. And also on the tap, we're gonna put in a 5 amp fuse here. The first one, we're gonna use the existing fuse that we have in the vehicle. That would be in a 10 amp, and then we would use a 5 amp here. We only need a 0.5 ampere or milliampere, 5 milliampere. I also got these shrink tubes because when I make the connection, I want to make sure they are secure. So before we dig into deep into repairs, you could see the tools we needed, parts we needed, as well as the relay. I labeled all the wires, where they're gonna go and how they're gonna work. This is the quick reference cheat sheet that can help you and guide you while you're watching the video and trying to do it by yourself. So the body control module or BCM is behind this fuse box. This is the whole box that comes out. And the circuit board has the relays on them, and those relays goes back. 2 fuses for 7.5 amp F11 and F12. One is for left side, one is for right side. So I'm gonna take them away so we can work from here and tap the wires to have the alternate connection. Also have to check the polarity here, that which side is positive and which is negative. And when I checked it, what I find out in mine, so you can check it also too, that this side on the fuse on my right hand side, the positive polarity is on the left, and on the left one it's on the right. You see I'm getting a roughly 12.8 volts on this end, and also I'm checking the other one, and the 12.7 volts here. So that means the voltage is here even though the car is off. Since I will be installing a relay, and to feed the relay so it in order to work, and it's gonna be only 0.5 milliamperes, so I'm gonna actually tap into F36, which is number 5 from the top. I already have taken out 1 fuse, so you see 2 5 amp, 1 20 amp, and the red one is a 10 amp, and that's where we're gonna tap into it. So when we turn, because that one is tied up to the ignition, when we turn on the ignition, so the 10 gets on, and then the relay will turn on, and it will
do the bypass and have the electric go through those F11 and F12. All right, guys, I made all the connections. I attached these fuses and everything. So just let me tell you, I mean, these two fuses that I'm using, I'm putting a 7.5 amps in it. That's I took from the car fuse box, and I'm utilizing the same one. So I put it in here. So these two, I cut them from the middle. The two wires will go to the rocker switch, which I have it here. You see, this is like a 4-pin rocker switch. So two of them will go there. Two of them that came in, and I joined them together, and that's why I told you I'm gonna put a 15 amp fuse here. They are coming to the relay, and in the relay red, I mean, you know, usually, I mean, it's universal, but it's like in a pin 30. Then we have in a pin white that is going to feed the relay that with the ignition. And that's where we're gonna put like a 10 amp and a 5 amp fuses. This going back to the rocker. So I mean, this will complete the circuit for the rocker from this and this. So this is the rocker switch, and the black one that, I mean, in the chassis inside, I did find a, you know, metal bracket. We're gonna open it and we're gonna put it there. So I'll show you, I mean, once that goes there. So let's try to put them in the car. All right, guys, I have taken the negative terminal off. That's always wise to do when you're working on electric, so I don't want to mess anything up. Guys, there is a plastic panel that I'm gonna pull it off. Actually, we're gonna put the switch here, and there is a room behind it, so that can be utilized. So let's take that off. If you see, it has two clips. We're gonna put them on, and actually I'm gonna feed the wires through here in the back, and that can help us. I'm feeding these 3 wires, 2 for the fuse, and the third one is for the ignition fuse. I'm gonna push it through here, and they will go into the fuse box, and when I put them in, I'll show it to you. Hopefully I can make a video there. All right, guys, if I can show it to you, now we have these things here. These two will go to the headlight fuse, left and right, and this one will go to 10 amp. So I'm gonna do it and show it to you. All right, guys, if you can see it, possibly, yes. So these 2 fuse goes there, and if you, the orange one that you're looking at it, that's on a fuse tap. I put a 5 amp for the relay, and the 10 is already for the F36. So which goes to the ignition and radio and all that. So this is done. Actually, if you look at it, so we have the hole done. You see. And we're gonna put the rocker switch there. All right, guys, I have put the rocker switch in. You see, that's a 4-pin. It's already there. And now we're gonna make the final connections. Guys, all right, guys, if you can see it, I put the ground wire here. There's a bolt, 10 mm. So I put the wire here, the black one from the relay, and now we just have to attach the rocker switch. So guys, you can see there are 2 red wires which are going to the fuse, and 2 coming from the relay, the black ones. The black ones I'm going to put on the rocker, and the red ones. So I'm going to put them on and then show it to you. All right, guys, I put the tape here on the relay and the fuses, as well as around the rocker, just to be on the safe side. Now I'm going to put this back and then hook up the battery, and then we'll test it. All right, guys, one thing, last night when I was trying to do it, it was not working, and the reason being that the F37 that I was using it for 10 amps, that's a constant feed on the fuse. So it was 12 volts were coming, so relay was not working, or it was on all the time. So what I did, I moved it here. It's in a 5 amp for the radio, and I put a 5 amp there. And other thing that you want to make sure, once you put these like wires in, you want to make sure the positive one goes, I mean, because it has like a positive and negative. And what I did find out on my car, that on the left side fuse is, the positive is on the right and vice versa. So you have to check the polarity, and you want to make sure the positive from both goes to relay. And now exactly it's working. So it's working when I turn on the switch, turn on and off the switch, it's working. However, it only works when the ignition is on. So I did test it, and hopefully I can show it to you. The lights are all there. When I turn it off, the ignition, it goes off, as well as the lights goes off. I hope you like my video. Please subscribe, and I will be bringing more videos about Porsche and some other cars as well. Thank you.